Hello and welcome to Mythical Meeples. Today I'll be reviewing Lotso from Disney Villainous. So this is part of a series of reviews I've done for Disney Villainous, focusing on each character in turn. I've ranked the difficulty of each villain, placing them as easy, medium or hard. I've also outlined a basic strategy that I tend to follow when playing that villain, although it is by no means the definitive way to play. I'll be picking out my top 3 cards for each villain, although I largely ignore those required directly for victory. Cards like the Crown and Trident for Ursula, Titans for Hades, the Magic Lamp for Jafar and so on, especially if they don't necessarily do anything other than get to the goal. So with Bigger and Badder, we are introduced to 3 new villains: Syndrome from The Incredibles, Lotso from Toy Story 3, and Madam Mim from The Sword in the Stone. The villains are varied in difficulty, making this much better as an expansion for players with other villains from the Villainous range, as opposed to players that are new to the game. For me, Bigger and Badder is one of the weaker box sets, alongside Despicable Plots, and I'd recommend picking up Wicked to the Core, Evil Comes Prepared, or Perfectly Wretched first, if you're looking for new villains to play. So as I said before, I'll be reviewing Lotso from Bigger and Badder for Disney Villains today. So for me, Lotso ranks in the hard difficulty of villains. What can one say about Lotso? He's one of the hardest and slowest villains to play as. You must find and play his 4 heroes, get them and Buzz Lightyear to the Caterpillar Room, and reduce the hero's strength to 0, using cards or by defeating them. Individually, these goals are simple. Reducing the hero's strength is really easy, and moving to the Caterpillar Room is really easy. However, Lotso's Fate deck is incredibly punishing, and there are a lot of Fate cards that can seriously hamper Lotso's ability to achieve his goal. On the flip side, Lotso is incredibly good at fating other villains, as his fate locations are both really strong for him, as you can see here in the library and the playground. And his best defense against being fated is to fate his opponents as much as possible. So playing Lotso with 2 people can make for an incredibly slow and somewhat boring game, as Lotso struggles to achieve his goal, whilst also denying victory to his opponent. I haven't enjoyed playing with Lotso so far, but I feel like I want to try him out with more players. Lotso is, in my opinion, one of the worst designed villains in the game, simply because he just wants to fate other people, but he can't really achieve his own goal, so you end up in this sort of stalemate condition. So I'm just going to talk about the cards a little bit. A lot of his cards either reduce the hero's strength or move heroes to the Caterpillar Room, which is where you need to achieve your goal. There are some cards for me that are just easy discard fodder, and some of these include things like allies, which I either tend to play just to get them out of my deck, or just discard them if I have no intention of playing them. Big Baby and Stretch are possibly the only 2 allies I would play, but it does really vary upon where you are in the game. So we'll talk briefly about my top 3 cards for Lotso. First is Something Snapped. So almost all of Lotso's cards move hero or reduce their strength, putting you closer to your goal. Yet Something Snapped is a condition that activates when another player discards cards, allowing you to move all heroes to the Caterpillar Room. With this card, it's possible to achieve victory when it's not your turn, and even if it doesn't, it gives you far more flexibility on which location to move to, as all your top row will now be uncovered. As Something Snapped relies on other players to discard cards, it's really easy to play, as most, if not all, villains need to discard cards to achieve their goal. So this card works really well if your opponents don't know your deck very well and haven't played against Lotso, so you can reduce all of your heroes to 0 strength, have this in your hand, your opponent will probably discard cards at some point, and you play this and you win on their turn. I've had this happen to me when I hadn't played Lotso before, and it made for a very strange game. Speaking of reducing strength, the second card in my top 3 is New Toys Don't Stand a Chance. So this is one of the most cost effective ways to reduce the strength of heroes, provided most of them are in the Caterpillar Room. Whilst this doesn't work on Rex, him being in the Caterpillar Room still contributes to the effects of New Toys Don't Stand a Chance. With 3 heroes in the Caterpillar Room, you'll be able to neutralise Ham and Jessie and significantly reduce the strength of Woody, if those are the heroes in the Caterpillar Room. With fewer heroes in the Caterpillar Room, The Bookworm or Locked Up may be better cards to play, so you can play New Toys Don't Stand a Chance at the most opportune moment. You shouldn't have any difficulty getting your heroes into the Caterpillar Room. You've got Welcome to Sunnyside, which plays heroes from your Fate deck into the Caterpillar Room. You've got the previously mentioned Something Snapped, which moves all of your heroes into the Caterpillar Room, and there are other cards in your deck that you can use to move heroes into the Caterpillar Room. So this is a really, really strong card, and you definitely want to play it if you can. This is something I would never ever discard, unless I don't have any heroes in play. Second card in my top 3 is Woody's Hat. So Woody's Hat is the only item in your deck, and it reduces the strength of all heroes excluding Woody by 1. It even reduces Rex's strength. So this is a strong card for Lotso with a relatively low cost, and is especially useful for reducing Rex's strength, as I previously mentioned, who usually can't be targeted if he's with another hero. So you need to play Woody's Hat after Woody comes into play, otherwise you'll be forced to discard it, as Woody discards Woody's Hat if it's in Lotso's realm. So this is a really, really good card. It combos well with previously mentioned New Toys Don't Stand a Chance. So if all of the heroes are in the Caterpillar Room, you play this. This reduces all of their strength by 4. And then the only person you've got left to deal with is Woody. So you just need to reduce his strength by 1. But this also works if your opponents manage to increase the strength of your heroes. So potentially, even if Jessie has got up to strength 5, for instance, and every hero is in the Caterpillar Room, use both of these two and you take her down to strength 0. I think this is the best way of lowering Rex's strength as well, as it means you just don't have to worry about moving him off of a location with a hero and then moving him back again. So my strategy for Lotso is fairly simple. It will just take you a long time to achieve. It's play cards like Welcome to Sunnyside to reveal heroes, get the heroes into the Caterpillar Room, reduce the strength of the heroes in the Caterpillar Room with cards such as New Toys Don't Stand a Chance, and then hope you don't get fated, because your Fate deck is really, really punishing. And that's it. I hope you enjoyed this review. If you do, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe. This helps support me and helps me grow as a channel. You can also become a member of Mythical Meeples and support me on Patreon. Again, there's links in the description below where you'll gain access to extra content, sneak peeks, and behind the scenes. So thank you again for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye for now.